by my co-host Joey Mullins. Joey, welcome back. It's like we haven't talked in 5 minutes, man. How you doing?
I know. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Ready to see this college football slate, see what we got.
Yeah, switch a little subjects here from college basketball back to college football, and
Yes.
it'll be the Week 11 college football pick'em. Last week, Joey, we'll go ahead and get our records out of the way here. I went 10-6 last week, a down week. You went 8-8. Both of us kind of struggled a little bit last week.
My goodness.
Bringing the total. My total is 147-40. You are 142-45. So we're just 5 games off from each other. But man, it was brutal last week picking here, dude. I picked. I believe we both went with Arkansas, who got just crushed by Ole Miss. I went. Who else did we go with? There was somebody else we went with, and it was like, oh boy, Kansas State. I think we both went with Kansas State, Iowa State, and those teams lost. And man, it's a rough week.
Yeah, I think Notre Dame for my record.
No, Texas A&M. That's another one that lost for us last week. Like,
yes,
yeah, Texas A&M. Oh no, South Carolina is going to win that game by 20-some points. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all.
Me neither.
North Carolina played last week, and North Carolina back in the win column.
Finally. They ain't playing a single man. James Madison. But
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
That's basketball.
Yeah, my goodness.
Man, and so Carolina got the win last week. Their first win in, what was it, 2 or 3 weeks? 3 weeks? 4 weeks? They had how many week slide did they have?
3, I think.
It was a 3-week slide.
Maybe.
They finally get back on the board. Marion Hampton, man, he's, when they beat Florida State, which they should have beat him, and they beat him bad, which they should have beat him bad, but Marion Hampton, 173 yards on the ground, but that's not all. 93 yards receiving.
He does it all, man. He does it all.
He's the team, right? Basically.
I mean, it's I don't know. It's crazy. It's like the whole team's on his shoulders.
And then we don't have to talk about it. We really don't. We can just go on to the picks. Starting this week off, now Kentucky fell to Tennessee last week, 28-18 on the road. Kentucky had a lead at the half in this game, and that was it.
I was hopeful.
Brock Vandegrift went out of the game with an injury. I don't think it would have mattered if he played or not. Some of these play calls, man, the defense, Brock Vandegrift going to the sideline, and a Tennessee player who's not even in the game pushes him right in the face, and the referee's looking right at it, and is like, "Yep, oh, I didn't see that. Play on." What? Throw the flag, something.
God.
And some of the chants, like Tennessee, Kentucky players went down with an injury, which I know Tennessee plays fast, and a lot of teams have been faking injuries. But Friday, the day before, the SEC commissioner said, we're going to start punishing teams for faking injuries. Yes. So do you think Kentucky is that stupid enough to come out the very next day and fake injuries and get in trouble by the SEC? No. They were legit hurt. If you watch the plays, they're legit hurt on these plays. And at one point, man, there's a guy down, and the Tennessee student section is chanting, he's a blank, several times over. And it's like, really? They're booing another guy, and, they have to help him off the field. And it's just, what a classless fan base, the Tennessee Volunteers, Volunteers. And I'm not just being bitter just because I'm Kentucky. Like, Booing somebody that's injured, even if you're right that they are faking it, you still can't boo somebody for being injured.
No, I mean, you're up in the stands. How do you know they're not injured? I mean, it's just you got those certain schools, Tennessee, Duke, Louisville. The fans. It's just like, my God.
And after that,
Come
man,
on.
Tennessee may be the worst out of the bunch. I mean,
They are the worst.
Especially the football fans. The basketball fans, they don't do that, but they're still bad too. But Tennessee plays Louisville tomorrow in basketball, and I was saying on the other podcast we just done, I don't see how you cheer for either one of these teams.
No. No.
Oh.
Let's hope the electricity goes out and they have to postpone the game or something.
Well, the good thing is the electricity will be out at Commonwealth Stadium this Saturday because Kentucky does not have to play a football game, but they've got basketball this Saturday, which is a good thing, I think, instead of the football the way it's been going this year. They need a week off.
Yes,
or a few.
Absolutely.
They return next week. They play Murray State at home, and they're going to start their freshman quarterback, Cutter Boley, from what everybody's been saying. Vandergrift's probably going to be out. Gavin Wimpson's going to be out, so they're going to give the freshmen a shot. It doesn't matter. You still don't have a line out there to block for him, but you're playing Murray State, so he should look pretty good, right? Because it's Murray State.
He should.
It's been a frustrating year of football, college and professional, for both of us. I mean, we're Bengals fans, obviously.
Yes.
And then, with Carolina and Kentucky, both of them struggling, not meeting expectations. It's rough.
Yes. I mean, obviously, everybody knows I'm a Carolina fan through and through, but I do live in Kentucky. So I do like seeing Kentucky football win games, as long as they're not playing Carolina. And since Kentucky got rid of John Calipari, I don't mind seeing Kentucky basketball win, as long as they're not playing Carolina. I just was not a fan of Calipari. Just wasn't.
And, I could totally understand that. And, this week again, as we're getting into our picks, Carolina is off again this week. So, I mean, I guess they just play a part-time schedule. Like, what? So both of our teams off this week.
Yep.
So we'll go on and we'll get started in our top 25 picks. Usually there's a top 25 game on tonight, and there's not for the first time, I believe, all season. If anybody wants to know, there is an ACC game on. California 29-21 over Wake Forest right now. Yeah. So we head to Saturday then with that, and the Fox Big Noon kickoff matchup. This is a big kickoff right here.
Oh,
the Purdue Boilermakers travel to Columbus to face the number 2 Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State is a 38-point favorite in this game. 53.5 is the over-under, Joey. You like Purdue's chances in this one?
No. Ohio State over points everything. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you. Give me Junkins touchdown. Give me Will Howard 250 yards and 2 passing touchdowns.
There's your parlay of the day right there.
There you go.
Oh, man. Like Fox, I hope you picked this game before the season started, because if you just picked this a couple weeks ago, what are you thinking? Like, really, what are you thinking here? Ohio State Purdue is not a big noon kickoff game. This is tuck it away at the middle of the night where nobody can see it because it's going to get ugly. The kids better be in bed. One of them games, Ohio State's going to beat Purdue in this one. 38, I think, is a lot. But Purdue, I think, absolutely is terrible. Give me Ohio State in this one. I think that they win. I think that they cover. And I think we see backup quarterback Devin Brown in the fourth quarter of this game because Ohio State is up so much. Give me the
Yes.
Buckeyes. Give me the Buckeyes to roll. I like the over in this one. And once again, when we pick these over-unders, bet them at your own, whatever. Take us at the money
Yep.
line, but the over-unders, take at your own risk.
Yes.
The next 12 o'clock matchup, the number 4 Miami Hurricanes travel to Atlanta to face the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Miami's a 10-point favorite. The over-under 63.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
Another game just like we talked about. Miami points. Give me the over. Miami everything. Cam Ward is having a really good year. Let's put it that way.
Decent. Been decent.
Yeah. I mean, no. Cam Ward's having a great year. I can't never say his name right. Respectbo. I can't.
Respeto.
Yes.
Respetrito. Yeah. Something like that.
It's hard to say, but yeah. Yeah. Give me Miami all the way. I mean, what can you say? Games like this that's lopsided. It's hard to even talk about, but give me Miami all the way.
So I think the way this game's going to go is Miami's going to come out. They're going to struggle a little bit to begin with, and everybody's going to be like, oh, boy. And then Cam Ward ends up with like 350 yards passing and 4 touchdowns. I mean, it's been the game it's been since they've been in ACC play for the most part.
The usual.
I like Miami to win this one. I don't think Georgia Tech's all that great. I mean, they beat Florida State early in the year, and everybody's like, oh, Georgia Tech, look at there. No, it doesn't matter. Miami's going to win. Cam Ward, Heisman Trophy candidate, maybe possible winner. Probably the number 1 quarterback prospect coming out of this class for the NFL next season.
Absolutely.
Then you got Martinez, who's a good running back in the backfield there. We talked about Respirado. I don't know what his name is either. I don't know how to say it, but
Desperado. That's what I'm calling
Desperado.
From now on.
Yeah, he catches everything for him out there. Good receiver. They got some tight ends, everything. Their defense ain't all that great, but they don't need it. Cam Ward can outscore whoever he wants to. Give me the Hurricanes. Give me the Hurricanes to cover. And man, the over's hitting because Miami's playing. If it's Miami, you take the over.
Yes,
26,
every time.
29 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on the season for Cam Ward. And he's still got 3, 4, 5 games left before Heisman gets decided. So I think he's got a good spot in New York for that trophy.
Yes. Miami, take the over. Iowa, take the under.
Yes, anyway. That's a good rule of thumb. Absolutely. Iowa's playing right now. I think Iowa's got a game playing right now. So they ain't been in the top 25 all year. We haven't really checked in on Iowa football much this year. So
we haven't.
Last year, Iowa football, you could always count the under. And right now it's almost halftime and UCLA 17, Iowa 10. So I don't know what the over-under was in there, but I don't know. Iowa scored a little bit more than they have last year. Not much, but you could still use that. Miami over, Iowa under. I like it.
Well, usually if Iowa plays, the over-under is in the 20s. So
yes,
they're probably over. They're probably over right now. So.
They're probably over. I think the highest of them was like 39. So I mean, there's still a chance that they're under.
True.
The next 12 o'clock matchup, the Florida Gators travel to Austin, Texas to face the number 5 Texas Longhorns. Texas, a 21.5-point favorite. The over-under is 47.5. Joey, what do you think about the Road Dogs in this one?
Oh, you better call somebody. Well, anyway, look, give me Texas in this one. I mean, I know Texas has had their slow starts and, Quinn Ewers, he don't need a backup, but at times he has. But, yeah, give me Texas. Give me the points. Give me the over.
So, Texas we played Vandy a few weeks ago. And it was a very close game. Vandy scared them a little bit there. That was right after Texas lost to Georgia. Texas, that's their only loss on the year. Florida, on the other hand, started off really slow, like awful slow.
Yeah.
Then they beat some team down pretty bad. We don't need to talk about that. Their quarterback Graham Mertz went down early in the year, and then they went with backup DJ Lagaway, the freshman, who was playing pretty decent, and then he got hurt. They were playing pretty good under him. He got hurt. Then they go to the walk-on Warner, which is not Kurt Warner's son, for Florida, and
who is playing right now?
Yeah, Kurt Warner's son's actually playing right now. But this Warner here, not Kurt Warner's son, plays for Florida, hasn't played well. With that being said, give me Texas in this one. I like Texas to cover this one. I think that Florida's quarterback situation is rough for them right now. If they had their other guy, I would like them to actually stay pretty close to Texas. I wouldn't pick them to win or anything, but I think that they'd play a lot better of a game against them. But give me Texas in this one, and I'll take an under in this game, the 47.5, whatever. But I'll take an under. But give me Texas to win this game right here.
Taking the under. All right.
Taking the under. And Florida actually announced today that their head coach, Billy Napier, is returning for another season, which is surprising because the beginning of the year, everybody in Florida was ready to run that man off.
Yes.
But he's coming back. The 3:30 matchups, we'll get started with them. And the first one may have the potential to be the game of the week. We'll see. The number 3 Georgia Bulldogs travel to Oxford, Mississippi to face the number 16 Ole Miss Rebels. Georgia is a 1.5-point favorite. The over-under is 54.5. Joey, I got to believe that if Ole Miss loses this game, their college football playoff hopes are done for. What do you think about this one?
I agree with you. And you might be shocked here, but I'm going with Georgia in this one. I think Georgia is going to come in and handle their business. Let me look. Let's see. Jackson Dart's not had a bad year. He's had a bad couple games, but not a bad year.
Bad game against Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think Georgia's going to come in. They're going to handle their business. ETN, I think he's going to have a big game. Look for him to have a big game against Ole Miss's defense. Give me Georgia.
Georgia played bad as you could play in that game. Played as bad as you could play against Alabama earlier in the year, and then the second half came around. They played great, lost. Carson Beck and them didn't play really well last week against Florida. Got off to a slow start, ended up winning by a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. Florida's quarterback got hurt. That game may have been different ending.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss last week. Now, I could go for the overreaction here. We both picked Arkansas last week. Ole Miss destroyed them. The overreaction part of me is like, man, Ole Miss is going to win this game, of course, right? They just beat Arkansas. Georgia's not Arkansas.
No.
Georgia's going on the road here. Ole Miss, they've already lost a game on the road at home this year to an SEC opponent. It's going to happen again this week. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs. I like Georgia to cover that spread, obviously, because it's only 1.5. And the over under 54.5. Give me the over in this one.
Over.
Both these teams can score. The defenses for either one of them is not that great, but Georgia's defense will make more plays than Ole Miss's, and that'll be the difference in the game. Going to the next 3:30 matchup. The Michigan Wolverines, the defending national champs. Don't worry, we won't be able to say that too much longer. Travel to Bloomington to face the number 8 undefeated Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana's a 14-point favorite. The over-under is 48.5. Joey, you like the Road Dogs in this one?
Give me Indiana. Man. Indiana's shocking. Like, really? They're crazy, man. Yeah, give me Indiana. Give me Indiana this one. I just don't think Michigan's not Michigan from last year. So Indiana's 9-0. Rourke has had a phenomenal year. He's only thrown three interceptions this year, 19 touchdowns. I mean, give me Indiana, give me the points.
And just think, Indiana, like last week, they played Michigan State, and I thought maybe Michigan State may play it a little close to Indiana here. Indiana beat them down, man. Indiana has beat down everybody so far. It is crazy how good they have looked this year. 9-0. Once again, Michigan, like you said, they're not the Michigan of last year. They're definitely not. It's crazy what a coach can do for a team. Because once he's left, man, they've not been the same as they had before. I like Indiana to win this one too. I like Indiana to cover. I think Michigan's got a good defense. I think their defense is really good. So we'll see how much Indiana can put up against Michigan in this game. That'll be interesting to see because that defense is good. But Michigan's offense is not very good at all. The over-under is 48.5. Give me the over because so far Indiana has hit the over in just about every game. But, man, Hoosiers I think are going to go and be 10-0 here coming up. And, yeah, man, they're going to be playing for Big Ten championship, I believe, this year.
If you look at their schedule and you look at their wins.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is Indiana points: 47, 31, 56, 41, 42, 52, 42, 77, and 31. Are you kidding me? Like, my God.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And what is like 5 or 6 of them games been against Big Ten opponents? So, I mean, it's not like they're playing, Kent State and putting these points up. It's some teams.
You're playing some dogs putting up points.
Putting up points like that. I think Washington maybe held them to 31, which is like, man, if Kentucky scored 31, I'd be doing jumping jacks like, yes, look at this.
Yeah,
this is awesome. It was 31 points.
Yes.
We done it. The next 3:30 matchup. The number 17 Iowa State Cyclones travel to Kansas City, Missouri to face the Kansas Jayhawks. This game is being played at Arrowhead Stadium, home of the Kansas City Chiefs. Iowa State's a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 51.5. Joey, Iowa State's coming off of a loss. Kansas has been down this year. What do you think about this game?
Give me Iowa State. Give me Iowa State. I know, I understand, but give me Iowa State. They've proved it all year. Yeah. Give me Iowa State, give me the points, and give me the under in this game.
So Kansas, before the season, I mean, they were close to being ranked in the top 25.
Close.
They had Neal coming back, their running back. They had Jalen Daniels, not to be confused with Jaden Daniels as the quarterback. It'd be a lot better if they had Jaden Daniels, I believe. But Iowa State, they undefeated all the way up until last week, and then they lost their first game of the year. Didn't really look that good in that game for the most part.
No.
But this game here is being played at Arrowhead Stadium, home. And the boys. Give me Iowa State though to win this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I think that 2.5. That's pretty close. I think it'll be a field goal game. Give me Iowa State to cover the spread, and give me the over in this one. Like I said, it's going to be a close game. But give me the Cyclones. The next 3:30 matchup, the Clemson Tigers travel to Blacksburg, Virginia to face the Virginia Tech Hokies. Clemson's a 6.5-point favorite. The over-under is 53.5. And Joey, what do you think about this ACC matchup?
Well, I know Carolina could not beat neither one of these teams, but on that note, I think Clemson's having an okay year. They're not having a great year. But yeah, give me Clemson, give me Klubnik, and give me the points. Give me the over in this one.
So Virginia Tech, they played Miami pretty close a few weeks ago, and almost beat them, that Hail Mary at the end.
Yeah.
Clemson, on the other hand, they hadn't lost a game since Georgia until last week.
Louisville.
And, man, Louisville took them down.
My goodness.
It's like, Louisville? Why Louisville, right? Why are you losing to Louisville out here? And it wasn't like it was close. Like, Louisville, handled their business against them, for quite a bit of that game.
Yeah.
I like Clemson in this one, though. I like a Virginia Tech cover. This may be the overreaction in me with the Virginia Tech cover. But give me the over in this one because I think both these teams will put up some points. Like you said, Klubnik's been good all year. Rootin' Tootin, the running back for Virginia Tech, has been a good running back. He's almost got 1,000 yards. And Maffa is a good running back as well for Clemson. He'll put up a bunch of yards too. So I like Clemson in this one, Virginia Tech cover, and the over. Yeah,
I agree. But look at real quick Clemson's remaining schedule.
Mm-hmm.
At number 18 Pittsburgh. They got
it's gonna be tough.
It's and they got South Carolina and they got the
Citadel.
I keep wanting to say Citadel, but Citadel Bulldogs. But yeah. So if they can get past this game and then you got Pitt coming up. So
yes.
That's rough. Pitt's good.
I think that's going to be a really good game right there, and I'll be looking forward to seeing who wins that one. And I think Gage may have a little interest in that game as well, too. Pitt Panthers and Clemson next week.
Hey, Pitt's good, man. They're good in college. I don't know about the NFL, but in college, they're good.
The next, I'll leave that one alone for right now. The next 3:30 matchup. The number 25 Army Black Knights travel to Denton, Texas to face the North Texas Mean Green. Army's a 2.5-point favorite. The over-under is 62.5. Joey, last week quarterback Bryson Daly did not play for Army for undisclosed reasons. I haven't heard an update on him this week. What do you think about this matchup?
Give me Army. I mean, man, they've just about obliterated everybody they played so far. I mean, they beat Rice, they beat Temple, Tulsa. I mean, yeah. Give me Army in this one. Give me the points. What's over under?
62.5.
Give me the under in this one.
Okay. So Army, like I mentioned, Bryson Daly out at the beginning of the game, before the beginning of the game for undisclosed reasons. The quarterback, he rushes for over 100 yards every game. Maybe he throws for 100. It all depends. But they crush teams with this running game, this option.
Mm-hmm.
All the way up until last week where they didn't have him playing. You could tell he didn't play because they scored at least 40-some points almost every game. Last week against Air Force, it's like, man, that's a down week. But they still won by 17, 20-3. So, I mean, is it really that big of a down week? I don't know. But they play they've got North Texas this week. Then they're off. Then they play Notre Dame on the 23rd. So that'll be interesting. If they can get past this game against North Texas, I think that'll be an interesting matchup for sure. I hope Bryson Daly plays this week. I'm not sure, like I said. Hopefully he does. If he does, even if he doesn't, I'm going to take Army in this one. I think Army wins. I think that they cover the spread. And give me the over in this one. Give me the over. It's a lot, but they're going to score, and they're going to score a lot. So, yeah, give me the Army.
Yeah. I mean, Daly's got 19 rushing touchdowns and 7 passing touchdowns. So,
as the quarterback,
I mean,
yeah.
my goodness.
Now then, the next 4 o'clock matchup, and Joey, we've done it. We've done it here. We've picked Colorado all year in games outside the top 25. We don't have to go outside the top 25 anymore because the number 20 Colorado Buffaloes, yes, they're made the top 25. They travel to Lubbock to face the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Colorado's a 4.5-point favorite, over under 63.5. Joey, what do you think first about Colorado making it into the top 25 for the first time under Coach Prime?
Well, thank goodness, because Travis Hunter has earned them a spot in the top 25. My God. They're about to kill him, but, you know, that's a whole nother discussion for a whole nother day. But, yeah, I'm glad they made the top 25. I like Colorado. I don't got a problem with them. I think they're going to win this game. Give me the points and give me the over. What can I say? I mean, it's the Travis Hunter show. He plays on both sides of the ball, so how can you not say it's a Travis Hunter show? Because, you know, you make a big play on offense, Travis Hunter. Big play on defense, Travis Hunter. So
I don't know if Colorado's really that good of a team. I mean, but they are fun to watch. I mean,
yes,
they put up a bunch of points offensively. I mean, they've got 2 great players and then a bunch of other guys, I believe. Travis Hunter is an elite player. I mean, he's going to be a top pick. And Shedeur Sanders is going to be a good quarterback. He's going to be one of the top quarterbacks picked in the draft next year. Colorado was off last week. They've been destroying teams. They beat Cincinnati last time out. Texas Tech, they've come on lately. They beat Iowa State last week. They give Iowa State their first loss. Taj Brooks is a really good running back. You can almost guarantee him for 100 yards every game he plays. He's kind of like Omarion Hampton.
Yeah.
He's all that Texas Tech has. And I think that's where they're going to struggle this week. Give me Colorado coming off of a bye to continue their success here and maybe get into a little bit better of a bowl game here. I know they got a tough schedule to end it on, but 4 games left. If they could win out, they get in that Big 12 championship, there's a chance they sneak into the playoff. Watch out for that. But give me the Colorado Buffaloes in this one. I think that they cover the 4.5-point spread. And I like the over because this is another one where you like take overs on is Colorado. And the next matchup, 7 o'clock matchup in the Big Ten, the Maryland Terrapins. This is the first time we've picked a Maryland game all year, I believe, maybe the second. Travel to Eugene, Oregon to face the number 1 Oregon Ducks. Oregon's a 23.5-point favorite. The over-under is 58.5. Joey, do you like the Road Dogs to pull off an upset? I've said this 3 times now.
I like Oregon to win this game. I mean, what can you say about Oregon? You know, well, Oregon and Texas. I think Oregon and Texas are just a different animal in college football. Yeah. Give me Oregon. Give me the points. Give me the over because I think Oregon can score, and they're going to score. They've had over 30 points in every game except for 1. So,
I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I've seen every Maryland Terrapin game this year, and I think that they're whatever. I ain't seen a Maryland Terrapin game. I ain't going to lie. I have no reason to watch a Maryland Terrapin game. Saturday's probably going to be the first time I even check in on the Maryland Terrapin game all year. The Oregon Ducks have been awesome all year. I love watching Oregon play, if for nothing else, to see what kind of uniform combination they have for this week.
Yes.
Dylan Gabriel, he's looked good this year. It's that offense that makes him look good, I think. Jordan James on the ground game, has got it going on. A big key, though, for Oregon this week, Tez Johnson is out and maybe out for a few weeks, which is unfortunate for Oregon because I like watching him play too. But I don't think it matters. They don't need him in this game. I think Oregon wins this game. Oregon covers at home, and the over hits in this one. 58.5 is a lot, but Oregon can put up points, and Oregon can put up points quick. I think this is going to be a point where Dylan Gabriel probably won't play much of the fourth quarter. Give me Oregon.
Yeah. I think this is the matchup where they don't need Tez Johnson. Like, if he's out, it's fine. They don't need him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. This is not going to be that big of a deal to be out without him here. But later on in the year, I think that they'll need him. But
yes.
They don't. The next matchup, 7 o'clock. The Mississippi State Bulldogs travel to Knoxville to face the number 7 Tennessee Volunteers. Tennessee is a 24.5-point favorite. The over-under 62.5. Joey, what do you think about this game? Sorry.
Tennessee's going to win. Your turn.
What else do you say, right? What else can you say after this, right? Tennessee, they're one of the better teams in the nation right now. Unfortunately, they looked kind of, they didn't look the best at the beginning of the week last week, right? I mean, they struggled last week against Kentucky. Kentucky played them pretty close.
They did.
But Mississippi State is just awful. I mean, Mississippi State may be the worst team in the SEC.
They are. I think they are.
I would say Kentucky's probably next to that right now, the way it's been going. But because Kentucky beat Ole Miss, so that gives them kind of a little leg up on that. But Mississippi State's awful. I don't think that they're going to win or even come close in this game. I will take Tennessee to win this one, and I think that they cover. They're going to bounce back from last week. Listen to me saying bounce back because they didn't cover last week. They're covering this week. Give me the under. Give me the under because I don't think Mississippi State's going to do a whole lot of offense against Tennessee. Tennessee's got a pretty decent defense. Oh, man. I wonder if they're doing the black jerseys for this one too. Probably not.
They saved that for Kentucky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they really needed the crowd to come alive for that one.
Yeah.
The next matchup, 7:30. The Florida State Seminoles travel to Notre Dame, Indiana to face the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Notre Dame is a 26.5-point favorite. The over-under is 42.5. Joey, I know you've got a love-hate, mostly hate relationship with Notre Dame in your picks. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to pull it out here. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Florida State is terrible. So I'm going with Notre Dame. I'm going with Riley Leonard from Duke to pull it out. Now, Florida State's just terrible, man. They're the biggest letdown in college football this year. So I'm not picking them for nothing. Give me Notre Dame, give me the points, everything.
I thought for a second you were going with an upset of all upsets. You were like, man, DJ Uiagalelei, he is coming back, and he's coming back with a vengeance for this game.
Well, watch it happen. I hope it don't, watch it happen.
Well, if it does, he's probably going to throw 4 picks, and they're going to bring up the back up and be like, oh, yeah, that's why we didn't do that to begin with.
Exactly.
Give me Notre Dame in this one. I like Notre Dame. I think that they'll win. I actually think Florida State may cover, and I may be crazy. It may be a small cover. It's 26.5, I think. Notre Dame wins by 24. The under hits, but Notre Dame wins. I think because Florida State, man, they're going to end up firing their coach. So here's the thing. If Florida State ends up firing their coach, they have a very famous alumni coach out there in Colorado. Would they go out and try to grab him to be the head coach or somebody else? Would you if you were them?
I would. Would you?
Yes, absolutely I would. If I was Florida State, I would go after Coach Prime and have him come and coach.
100%.
Yeah. Like I think they passed him up last time to go after Norvell. And
They
it looked
did.
like, man, maybe they, after the season that Colorado had last year and the season that Florida State had, it was like, well, maybe they made the right decision. And then Florida State played Georgia in the bowl game after not making the championship or the playoff. And it was like 63-3. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's just one game. They didn't care. And then they came out this year, and the way they've played this year, it's like, okay, maybe we overreacted.
Maybe
and
we messed up. Yep.
We should have maybe picked him. So if it's a second time around and he's available, which I'd say he will, because I'm sure Shadur and Travis Hunter's leaving, I would definitely pursue him. But yeah, Florida State's just awful. Just awful.
They are. And I could see this being Coach Prime's last year in Colorado.
Yeah. He's not going to Colorado for the – and if he has a little success, which he's having this year, if they continue to have success, I'm pretty sure Florida State's going to come after him.
Yep.
The next matchup, 7:30 matchup, the big matchup of the week. Number 11, Alabama Crimson Tide versus the number 15 LSU Tigers. Alabama is a 2.5-point favorite on the road. 58.5 is the over-under. Joey, who do you like in this SEC matchup?
Under LSU.
Well, I think Joey has dropped out here. I think maybe I dropped out for a second, and then he dropped out. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I think he said under and LSU on his pick. I'll see if I can get him back in here real quick. Not sure, but if he's going LSU in this one, I'm going to go Alabama. Give me Alabama to win this one. Give me Alabama to cover that spread. 58.5 is a lot, but with these two teams here, they like to score a lot. Give me Alabama. I think that they're going to win. And I think, like I said, I think they'll cover. And there's not much not much defense that usually happens, which is strange because you think the SEC defense, all that. LSU has no defense. Nussmeier's going to put up yards. Milroe's going to run for some yards here. But yeah, I like Alabama. Joey, I think you were saying you liked LSU in this one.
Yes. I had some internet difficulties, so I'm back now. But yeah, I like LSU in this one.
I think we both dropped out there for a second, but yeah, I think Gage says that LSU will have a live tiger at the game, so maybe it eats all the Bama players. That's possible. I mean, you never know. Joey obviously is going with that, so we'll
Let's
see.
go.
But I think it's going to be a highly entertaining game. A lot of points are going to get scored in this one. Another great LSU receiver out there, Kyron Lacey. He's going to be playing on Sundays here pretty soon. But I think he'll have a pretty good game. Alabama, on the other hand, they got a guy. How old is Ron Williams? I don't think they've ever told how old he is, Joey. Do you have any idea? I don't think they've ever mentioned it.
What, like 18, 17?
I think he's 17. I don't think they've ever mentioned that he's 17 years old playing out there for Alabama in college. He should be in high school right now,
Well, you can't put him in a bet slip, so.
Which is odd. I wonder, is that some kind of a law? I don't know. If anybody knows, can you not bet on players under 18 years of age or not? Because you cannot bet on Ron Williams on anything.
No. We've not been able to bet on him all year long. So there has to be something with the age discrepancy. So
there must be, because I would love to put him in a bet slip every once in a while, like every game just about.
yeah.
So the 7:45 matchup, the Oklahoma Sooners travel to Columbia, Missouri to face the number 24 Missouri Tigers. Oklahoma is a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 41.5. Joey, I don't know if there's going to be a live Tiger at this game or not, but what do you think about this matchup with the Tigers? Brady Cook is out. Do you think that makes a difference?
Well, I think it does, but it don't. Oklahoma is, I don't know. I know they're coming off a loss to Alabama, but Oklahoma is bad. But I mean, I don't know how. I don't know if I can say that. Yeah, give me Missouri. Give me Missouri. I don't think it makes a difference. I think they're still going to win.
Interesting choice here. Because if, Missouri, without Brady Cook, is not the same team. They look different. I mean, they still got Luther Burden. They got Nate Noel and all them. But they just look a little bit different without Brady Cook. Oklahoma has been bad. Mm-hmm. So we think. They played Tennessee pretty close. And then they got beat down by South Carolina at home. And I thought, oh, man, that's a bad loss. But South Carolina, I think, is better than what I want to give credit for them.
I was getting ready to say, that's not a bad loss.
Yeah, but I don't want to give any credit to South Carolina because I thought, man, we were better than them, and obviously we're not. So I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'm going to take the Sooners in this one as the road favorites. Just because I think that the Brady Cook is going to be a bigger injury than what it seems like. Give me the Sooners, Boomer Sooner in this one. Give me them to push the spread because it's 3. And give me an under because neither one of these teams can score without Brady Cook. They're not going to score a whole lot. The next matchup, 8 o'clock, you can check this one out on the Peacock. Washington Huskies travel to Happy Valley to face the number 6 Penn State Nittany Lions. Penn State is 13-point favorite. The over-under is 46.5. Coming off of a loss last week to Ohio State. Joey, what do you think about this matchup?
I think it's going to be an entertaining game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but give me Penn State. Give me the points. I think Drew Aller's going to have a typical game. Give me Penn State.
All right, so I've asked this question a few times this year on this podcast. When we pick Penn State.
They're not playing Ohio State.
Is Penn State playing Ohio State this week?
No. They're not.
Are they playing Michigan?
No.
They're not. They're playing Washington. So give me Penn State to win this game right here.
But if they was playing Michigan, they would win.
That's a good question. But I think I would pick Michigan because James Franklin chokes against the bigger teams. He feasts on these littler teams right here, and then he chokes against the 2 teams he plays every year. I don't think they play Michigan this year. I don't think I've seen that on their schedule. But they played Ohio State. Not. So they may make the playoffs, losing to Ohio State, and then they may meet Ohio State again in the playoffs.
And they're going to lose.
And then guess what? They're going to lose because
they're going to lose.
Choke because that's what he does at Penn State. He chokes against those teams. But he's not playing them this week, so I like the Nittany Lions to win this game. Give me Penn State, and give me Penn State to – give me Washington to cover. But give me the over. Ooh. I think it's going to be about a 10-point game. Washington's not great, but they're not horrible, but they're not Ohio State. So Penn State's winning. So, if you want to watch this game, it's at Beaver Stadium. You can watch it on the Peacock. There you go. The next matchup, 8 o'clock matchup, the Nevada Wolfpack travel to Boise to face the number 12 Boise State Broncos. Boise State is a 24-point favorite. The over-under 60.5. Joey, Boise State has a Heisman candidate here. What do you think about him?
I think they have the Heisman Trophy winner. Myself.
Ooh.
My opinion. Dude, Ashton Jeanty is just on another level. Like, I think he wins this game and he covers the spread and give me the points.
I like how you said Ashton Jeanty wins this game and he covers the spread.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, my God.
Well, since people has noticed, hey, there's a guy named Ashton Jeanty that's scoring, getting 200 some yards and 4 touchdowns a game, he has struggled, if you could call it struggling. He had like 128 yards the week before last, and he had how many yards last week? I mean, it wasn't measly 100 some yards or whatever.
Well, hold up. You said he struggled and had 128 yards as a running back.
Yeah. People's tuning in. They're like, man, this guy's going to get 220 yards. And he gets 128. People's like, oh, man, that was disappointing. And I'm like, dude, he ran for 128 yards. Like, what do you expect? But I like Boise State in this one as well. I think that they cover this spread. And I think that Madsen, their quarterback, has, it opens up the passing game a little bit with Jeanty. So he's been playing pretty good lately. He's got 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. They've really picked up the passing game the last few weeks. Nevada's not a really good team. So I think Jeanty's going to have a Jeanty-like game. Give me Boise State in this one. Give me them to cover. Give me them for the over. I know it's 60.5, but it's one of those games. They're playing on the blue field. I think Jeanty's going to get a few touchdowns in this one. I mean, he only has 20 on the season through 8 games. So I think he's going to get a couple in this one as well. Give me Boise State. The next matchup, 8 o'clock matchup. On the ACC network, the Virginia Cavaliers travel to number 18, Pittsburgh, to face the Pittsburgh Panthers. Pitt is a 7.5-point favorite. The over-under is 56.5. Joey, what do you think about this one?
Okay. All right, Gage, you're welcome. Give me Pitt in this one. Give me the points. I mean, Pitt is a legit team. I mean, if they keep going, they got a shot at the 12-team playoff. If they keep going, I mean, I know. Let's see. I know they got. Let's see.
Got Clemson.
They got Clemson and they got Louisville. Boston College, they'll win that game. Louisville, they should win that game. I mean, hey, they got a shot. Yeah, give me Pitt in this one. Give me the points. Give me the over.
So Pittsburgh the last few weeks has, 3 weeks ago when they played California, 17-15, ugly, low-scoring game for those teams. And then 2 weeks ago, the offense didn't do a whole lot either. They didn't have to do a whole lot either. Kyle McCord threw 3 pick sixes in that game, and he threw 2 more picks. And then last week came around, and it was 31-3 at the half. SMU, who's 8-1, who have won 8 games in a row, just all over them. I mean, they had an 80-yard touchdown run against Pittsburgh. Jennings threw for 306 yards in that game, 2 touchdowns. Holstein, the quarterback for Pittsburgh, he had a decent game. I mean, 248 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown. Reed, the running back, man, he only had 49 yards. He usually gets a whole bunch more yards. Smith, the running back for SMU, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, but Virginia is not as good as SMU. They're not as good as Pitt. Gage, I'm rolling with your Panthers in this one. Give me Pittsburgh in this one. I think Pittsburgh will cover that spread, and I think that the over is going to hit in this one. Give me Pitt.
Yeah. And I don't think in the game against SMU, I don't think Pitt is as bad as the score shows. You know what I mean? Because you look at their other games. I mean, it's just, luck of the draw. But we'll see.
Well, Gage says if Pitt loses, he's going to stop watching college football. Gage, I think you're hanging on for one more week because I think that they win this time.
Yes.
But if you get down 31-3 at halftime to a team, that makes it tough for anybody.
It don't matter who you're playing,
especially on the road.
Yes.
Oh man. So the next matchup, it's 10:15 at night. The Holy War, number 9 BYU Cougars, undefeated, travel to Salt Lake City to face the Utah Utes. BYU, a 3-point favorite. The over-under is 40.5. Joey, these two Mormon teams hate each other. Who you think's coming out on top?
Give me BYU. I mean, they've scored at least 30 in every game except for the second game of the year against SMU, and it was 18-15, and they still won. Give me BYU. I think they're gonna take it.
This is a big rivalry game right here. These two teams, like I said, they hate each other. Both these teams are decent. I mean, Utah's got a really good defense. BYU's undefeated. They haven't lost all season. Is Cam Rising playing for Utah? Oh, I'm just kidding. I think we're done with that for the season. We haven't done it in a few weeks. I figured I'd bring it back up. I'm pretty sure he's still hurt or he's got hurt again or something like that. But BYU, man, undefeated. They've not really, lost or been close to losing to anybody except for that one game. Who was it? UCF or somebody like that? I can't remember. They played really close. They kept showing the coach on the sideline, and he was just like, he wouldn't say nothing. He's just like,
yes. Yeah.
And they about lost it, but they came back and won at the end. Utah struggled all year, man. They don't have any answer at quarterback. Can't really get
lost
much
4 in a
offense
row.
going.
They've lost 4 in a row.
Starting off 4-0 and then losing that many. I mentioned Cam Rising. He's played a couple of games, but he doesn't ever play much.
No.
They've got what's his name's little brother, Zach Wilson's little brother. I don't know if he's even playing now or not. I'm going to take Utah at the home upset against the rivals right here in the Holy War. Give me Utah to pull off the upset at home. They're going to get it back on track. They're going to ruin BYU's season. BYU's looking forward to the playoffs. Easy for me to say. Utah's going to derail that and beat their rival at home. Give me the Utes in the upset. And then the last top 25 matchup of the week, the Utah State Aggies travel to number 21 Washington State to face the Washington State Cougars. Washington State's a 20.5-point favorite. The over-under in this one is only 69.5. Joey, it's the first time we've talked about Washington State this year. What do you think about it?
Well, give me Washington State. Give me the over. They've lost one game all year, and it was to Ashton Genty. So, give me Washington State. Give me the points. Give me the over.
Yeah, Washington State, one of the 2 remaining teams in the Pac-12.
Two.
They are. If you look at the Pac-12 standings right now, they currently lead. They're in first place at 7-1.
Oh my God!
But man, they beat Washington earlier in the year in the Apple Cup. They've scored a lot of points, man. They lost to Boise State. Then they beat Hawaii, San Diego State. They really haven't beat a whole lot of teams. I mean, the 2 big teams that they played, 2 Power 5 teams they played, they've beaten. The really good team that they played, they lost. But in this one here, it's Utah State. Give me Washington State to win. I think the Cougars win this one. I think they cover, and give me the over only because they put up a bunch of points anyways.
Well, in the game that Washington State lost to Boise State, Ashton Genty had 259 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Is that it?
So,
It's 259?
That's all.
That's crazy.
That's a letdown. That's a bad game.
That's one of the games where people look back and they're like, "Man, this guy's awesome." And
Yeah.
then they tune into the 128-yard game and they're like, "Oh man, he sucks." I'm like, "It's 128 yards. I mean, that's a great game. Are you kidding?"
I mean,
but man, that's half.
Sometimes we'll put a bet in for somebody, a running back in the NFL for 70 yards, 60. And they'll get or 60, and they'll get like 40. And this cat's getting 100 every game, just about.
And it feels weird when you put in a bet for him, and you're like, oh, "Can he get 150?" And I'm like, "Listen to me talking. Can this guy get 150?" And you're like,
"Yeah."
Well, what if we put him for 1 touchdown? It's like minus 1,600. I'm like, all right, what about 2? Minus 450. And I'm like, what? You're not making anything off this guy.
Minus 3. Minus 3. 152.
Yeah. It's
like okay, my God.
I can see him doing it. He's done it several times. But that game against, whoever it was a couple weeks ago, he had 120 yards. And I think it's UNLV. But he had half as many yards as he did against Washington State. But, yeah, I think Washington State wins in their first week in the top 25, and I think they keep I think they'll win that Pac-12 championship this year. It's going to be a tough race. I think it's a 2-team race for the Pac-12 championship. I don't know. What do you think, Joey?
I do. I agree. 100%. I agree. Who else is going to challenge them? I mean, just saying.
Yeah, the Beavers, they've got 4 wins, 4 losses. I mean, if they win out, there's a chance. But, I don't think anybody else can match up with them. Just my opinion. Oh, yeah. Man, and that does it for the Week 11 college football pick'em. Joey, we agreed on a lot of things. We had a few disagreements. We had a few technical difficulties. We got back on track, and we got it done.
Got her done, son.
And we will see you all next week here for the college football pick'ems. Yelling from the couch. We'll see you.